The government is finally reopening, but without healthcare extensions. We'll talk about it. Michael Burry is closing his hedge fund. I got the letter right here. We will read it together. And you need to be paying attention because this AI company that reports earnings this week could shake the whole market. And you know they're saying we in an AI bubble. So it can go left and it can go right, but we're going to discuss it. Before we get there, welcome back to another episode of SHINANCE, where we're here talking about financial topics. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to show some love, and let's have a discussion in the comments about what we're talking about here today. Let's get right to it. All right, government shutdown. Longest government shutdown in U.S. history, finally over. I believe it was like 42, 43 days. We'll worry about that later. The important thing is the government is going to be funded through January 30th of 2026, which, yes, that means we could potentially have another shutdown the top of next year, but we're going to hope that that's not the case, right? We're going to hope that's not the case, and we're just going to focus on the good stuff, the good details. And one good detail is that SNAP benefits, benefits for women, infants, and children will be funded through September 2026, so we won't have to worry about everything come January 30th. That's just the January 30th stuff is going to be the little things that the Republicans and Democrats kind of duke it out for. So that's hearsay. So I thought one of the most interesting things that I thought that was on this bill, that they put money increase for security for members of Congress, judges, and executive branch members because of the Charlie Kirk shooting. We needed that, I guess. We needed that. We definitely got to protect our government members. I didn't know it was getting that serious, but I guess it's that serious because they know that they're probably screwing the American people, right? So let's actually talk about something that everybody was hyped to talk about last week, the stimulus. There are people saying they seen the deposits already coming into their account. Well, I'm here to tell you first, all that is a lie. There's a lot of people kind of trolling, saying they got their stimulus check, their new stimulus check, or they see the deposit, it's clearing. No, it's not clearing. The reality is we don't have all the money for the stimulus checks, for these tariff stimulus checks. We don't have all the money. We got to go get the rest of the money. Like if we were to try to pay it out today, we do not have the money. So essentially, it's just a hype topic. It's just a topic that he's gonna put it out there so that people feel like, oh, we gotta vote for you, bro. You finna get us money again. All right, let me tell you how this is going to work, right? This is how the tariff stimulus is going to work. If it did, there would have to be some type of proposal. Right now, there's no formal proposal for these tariff stimulus checks to be sent out. As well as Congress would have to approve of this, just like they approved of the 2020 stimulus check. So we don't have either right now. And then we don't have the money. We have to still collect the rest of the tariff money. And as you know, we have, I believe it's the Supreme Court trying to say that the tariffs are illegal because the tariffs are causing inflation for the American people. It's a nasty. He's pretty much trying to get rid of the money before they try to take it back. We're in a very interesting place right now. I'm kind of with it. Like I'm fine with the stimulus checks going out to the people as long as it doesn't create more inflation. So we'll see where we end with that one. Okay. Now let's talk about Michael Burry, the Big Short. I got to pull up this letter. Mr. Michael Burry, Mr. Big Short, Mr. Big Short, Michael Burry put out a letter last week on, oh no, this one was, I guess it was dated October 27th, so a few weeks ago. He said, "Dear investors, with a heavy heart, I will liquidate the funds and return capital, but for a small audit tax holdback by year's end. My estimation of value in securities is not now and has not been for some time in sync with the markets. With heartfelt thanks, but also with apologies, I wish you well in your future investments. Wow. So he's closing his hedge fund with this letter. It's caused a little bit of a shake. People think we're in a crypto winter now. You know, Burry's been wrong with his timing in the past. Although he was right with the Big Short, he was extremely wrong and lost a lot of money. I mean, watch the Big Short movie yourself. Lost a lot of money early on because he was a little too early. So, you know, but the markets have been dropping since he dropped, let's see, October. Why is it saying November? Let's see. The markets have been going down ever since. This is October 27th right here. So on October 27th, Bitcoin was at 114K. Today it's at 95. So this is kind of shaking up. But Robert Kiyosaki was already saying BTC under 100. So this is kind of just like froth, I guess. I don't know. But you do see it. I mean, I'm seeing it. You can see like that was like the height. So his letter has kind of put some fear in the markets. He stated that we're in an AI bubble, and he also stated that crypto is in a casino reality. And I have a great example that I want to talk about, and that's Apple, right? Because to say we're in a bubble with AI, I do understand why they're saying it. There may be companies that just won't make it. They're probably not profitable. There's just no near term for profitability. But like when the iPhone came out, there was skepticism, right? When the iPhone came out, there was so much skepticism from competitors of Apple that said it was niche, right? That, you know. So, but this has become one of the most innovative devices that we've seen in our lifetime. Right here, the iPhone. Most innovative, right? This beats out the Sidekick. This beats out the Razr phone, the flip phone, the Nextel bleep bleeps. I don't know if many of y'all was even there for that, right? This little piece of technology right here is the best thing that has happened to us. And people said it was a niche type of technology. Not everybody would use it. That's insane, right? So if you could have invested in Apple when people considered it niche, would you do it with all that you know today? Or would you say it's a niche piece of technology? Think about that, right? So this whole AI bubble, I understand it, but we haven't even reached the peak of this AI, and it's something that's being used around the world and can be used around the world to grow people's technology, efficiency, workflow, everything, right? Everything that AI does. So are we in a bubble? I don't know. I don't think we're in an AI bubble, because I think this is the technology that AI is pushing out is just insane. And like, you know, let's see. Apple, if you could have invested, 1990, Apple was in 86, Apple was 15 cents a share. Let's just go to the 2000s during the .com. 40 cents a share. 30 cents a share. Now I'm sure that there were some stock splits possibly, so that's probably why it's going to be under $1. But you can see, I mean, the chart speaks for itself. If you could invest in Apple right there, you'd be a multi-millionaire, right? When people thought it was a niche. So I think that's a good perspective to look at. Now, the crypto casino reality, yes. I think that there's a lot of like weird coins and stuff like that people just buy that are just worthless. But, you know, the whole Ripple XRP thing is real. Banks are trying to use crypto to move money more fast. And, you know, Trump beat those whole families. They're trying to embrace the whole crypto market. So I think that America is going to embrace the crypto market. I think some things will get shaken out in due time. We'll see. But Ethereum, BTC, XRP, that's, that's what we're watching. Everything's on the dip. And I truly believe long term, these are potentially buying opportunities. And, do your own research, of course. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here sharing my thoughts on where I think the market's going. I've been watching it since 2020. All right. Strong. Been here for a little while, y'all. Wow. 5 years in. I started. That's interesting. So, but the biggest thing to watch this week, right? This is going to tell you everything. Nvidia is expected to report earnings. And Nvidia is the leader in AI right now, right? Which is funny because they don't even make their own chips. They just they distribute it. Like they someone else makes it, and then they be like, all right, now we finna sell it to you, and we finna sell it to you, and they design it. They design it, and then they get them made by like a Taiwan semiconductor. So it's funny when they're like, Nvidia is the most powerful company in the world, but they don't even make the chips. Does that make sense? Like, does that really make sense? Think about that. The most powerful company in the world doesn't make the product that they sell. They just design it. So are they the most powerful company in the world? And are you late to investing into this AI world? I think by market share, I understand why Nvidia is considered the most powerful company in the world, but some people would disagree because they don't actually make these chips. So they're reporting earnings. I'm excited to see, people are anxious, man. People are anxious. And let's see. If Nvidia gives off any bad news during their earnings call, any bad news, I think that this market is on the brinks of fair, right? And fair is usually the best time for long-term investors to kind of swoop in and, do their thing, find an opportunity, right? So I'm gonna keep my ears close and hearing and seeing what they say in the Nvidia call. Hopefully, if I can get on, I may go live, so we can get on and listen to it. Because if we get any bad news from Nvidia, any miss, any, it's gonna be ugly. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But if we get good news, I think we can also rally. Hopefully, start to rally into the year. That's what I'm hoping for. The biggest thing right now for me in the AI industry is we need energy. We need energy. And I'm still finding the energy stock that's going to really jump. I'm not saying these are them, but these are some that I've heard. Oklo, feel free to put some energy stocks in the comment section if you feel like there's some that have an opportunity for people that are watching to invest in. That's going to be like the next industry I'm really kind of like looking at, the energy, because without the energy, none of these data centers are going to be able to operate at scale. AI can't really continue to grow without the energy, because the energy is needed to run these data. Have you seen a data center? We got one here in Atlanta. I showed it on the live recently. Look it up. They're huge. They're really huge, and need a lot of energy to power them. So that's what's next on my to-do list, to help us find the right energy stock. So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate y'all for watching. It's going to be a interesting week in the financial world, but I got y'all. Don't worry. We here with the information. We're going to keep giving it. We're going to keep getting back to it. Appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the thumbs up on the video and say what up in the comments. SHINANCE, sign out till next week. I'll see y'all.